Hey you guys, welcome to the Ant-Man channel. It's Wednesday, the 23rd of January 2013. Um, there's a, today's a very, there's news coming from all different sides today. There's politics, education, faith, and just regular research that people do every day. Diversions. Let's get into diversions. This article has been published by Creek. Excuse me, some pop-up came up. Creek Stewart. Creek Stewart is the founder of Willow Haven Outdoor Survival and Preparedness Training Facility in central Indiana, an experienced survival instructor backed by thousands of hours in the field. He has been featured on Fox and Friends, mensfitness.com, and discovery.com, and is the author of Build the Perfect Bug Out Bag and the unofficial Hunger Games Wilderness Survival Guide, Spring 2013. And he writes, the title of this article, Not If, But When. If you only own one gun, own this one. Exclusive Creek Stewart makes case for flexible, functional firearm. Gun ownership is a hot topic right now. There is no doubt our constitutional right to bear arms is under assault. Legal gun owners are being singled out, scrutinized, and publicly blacklisted. The imminent threat of more gun bans and restrictions have prompted many law-abiding citizens to evaluate their arsenals. The newly proposed ban bills have compelled many to stock up on certain guns, accessories, and calibers of ammunition. Though certainly not intentional, this is the first thing Obama has done in 5 years to stimulate our economy. The line to get into the gun show near where I live this past weekend was a quarter-mile long. Many people who have never even owned a gun or owned guns are among the throngs of new gun shop customers. The firearms business is booming. As you take inventory of your firearms, I'd like to present you with a question. If you could only have one gun, what would it be? Granted, there is no one gun that excels in every category: self-defense, large and small game hunting, hostile combat, maneuverability, weight, accuracy, affordability, durability, and ease of use. I look at guns, however, from the perspective of long-term survival. I buy guns for their function. If I could only have one gun to meet as many of my survival needs as possible, it would without question be a Ruger 10/22 rifle. If you don't already own a Ruger 10/22, let me explain why you need one in your gun cabinet. First, the Ruger 10/22 is a semi-automatic rimfire rifle chambered in 22-gauge long rifle ammunition. It comes standard with a 10-round magazine. The barrel and trigger assemblies easily detach from the stock with just one screw. It's easy to replace parts and pieces if necessary and requires no specialized tools. These facts alone have made the 10/22 a very popular rifle. Because of its popularity, the 10/22 is one of the most customizable guns available. The Chameleon gun. A plethora of very affordable aftermarket accessories can be purchased for the 10/22. From stocks to scopes to high-capacity magazines, the 10/22 can be transformed into an entirely different rifle within just a few minutes. This makes the 10/22 a fun gun to own. Below is the same 10/22 barrel and trigger assembly paired with 3 different stock and accessory combinations. You can change the gun to fit your circumstance. Hundreds of compatible accessories are available. This is a highly prized feature of the 10/22, and here's a picture of it. It's a very nice rifle. I mean, I'd have to take his word for it, to be honest with you. It looks very, very reliable. It looks very lethal. I like how he has like a little backpack. He has like a lighter in there, a little knife. He has, his American flag handy. And then you got some customizable variations here. One with a banana clip. And yeah, and there you have it, you guys. I mean, that's a nice gun if I've ever seen one. You got the machete combination. Very nice. Yeah, I mean, people that I've never even seen that were even interested in guns are getting really involved into the gun movement. Well, Well, it's a good thing that the Obama administration decided to push gun restrictions because they did it too early, in my opinion. They went for they went for the gun grab, the power grab, way too early. Um, I mean, I think it's silly to think that the American people would be that stupid. I mean, yeah, there are the groups out there that that are generally yuppies, but there are a lot of self-empowered, self-sufficient, uh, patriotic Christians out there. Those are guys you need to watch out for, son, because we don't talk a lot, but when you get us mad, well, we turn into Hulk or we turn into the devil pretty much, and we get really mad. It's just well, it's not really the devil, because there is a such thing as holy anger. Um, you could get mad for a righteous cause. It's not a. So you see, that's why the media tries to tell you don't get mad. Like if Alex Jones goes on CNN and starts yelling at Piers Morgan, they try to label him as he's not cool. He's a nut, because there's like a misconception of the word cool. People think you're cool if you never let anything get to you. I tell you that's an emotional flaw on your part. If you let other people regulate you to that point where you're just a zombie because you're afraid of other people's reaction to you, then you have already given up your emotional I mean, that's a big part of the fight. They don't want you to get mad because that's where the fight is. You don't get in a fight until you get angry. But if they keep telling you, oh, there's nothing to get mad about, then you're going to shut your mouth and you're going to do what you're told. But then you see those politicians that are power grabbing and they're getting up yelling, trying to get the troops riled up. It's like, oh, but it's okay for you to yell, right? It's okay for you to get all jarhead on the people, but when the people get angry that you're trying to power grab on us, don't lose your cool, don't lose your credibility, because getting angry loses your credibility. It's like, I'm tired of playing these games with these authoritarian control freaks. I mean, we need to get in their faces more than ever. I mean, the gun culture is exploding. People out there are starting to like guns and starting to realize that having a gun makes you and your family safe. Um, Having a gun, if you're a nutcase though and you're on drugs, isn't gonna be a good idea. I think if you have a relative that's drug addicted and plays violent video games, or plays a lot of or watches a lot of violent movies, he's probably not mentally healthy to have a gun, man. I would not want somebody that's a little bit crazy to have a gun in my house. That's a little bit insane. I'd just be like, hey, you know what? Let's put it somewhere where everyone can have it, and move on. But it's demonize the gun owner. Demonize the gun owner because he's the terrorist. He's the one shooting up the little kids at the schools when it's not true. Guns don't get up and shoot people. Only crazy people shoot people, and they're cowards. They don't go to. You notice they don't go to the police station and shoot up a bunch of cops because they would get dumped on. But they go to little kids' schools where they're gun-free zones, where everybody's defenseless and not expecting a thing, and then they open fire on a bunch of innocent people and then shoot themselves. That's not crazy, you guys. That's cowardly. That's very disgraceful, man, to think that there are people out there like that. But anyway, I'm going to get back into the article. Putting food on the table. Fun aside, the 1022 excels in survival common sense. It is an incredible accurate rifle with the factory iron sights. I've put many a small game animal on the table with my 1022 and prefer to hunt with it over any other gun I own. Don't discount the 1022, however, when it comes to hunting big game. When placed, shots can easily take much larger animals such as deer, alligators, and boar. Illegal poachers love the 1022 because of its silent report and deadly accuracy. More bang for your buck. The cost of ammunition is certainly a consideration when making any gun purchase. 22 gauge long rifle ammunition is among the least expensive that you can buy. This means you can practice shooting without breaking the bank. But more importantly, it means you can afford to buy and store more ammunition, as opposed to many high caliber rounds that cost up to, $1 per bullet. Don't forget, disarming a nation has two components, guns and ammunition. It takes two to tango. I suggest having enough to spare of both. Storage and transport flexibility and barter. You can store an insane number of 22 gauge long rifle rounds in a very small place. One shoebox will hold thousands, enough to last for years. You'll barely notice a box of 100 in your pocket, and 500 rounds weigh in less than 5 pounds. Higher caliber ammunition can be extremely heavy and bulky to transport if you ever find it necessary to bug out. Due to its popularity, there are a countless number of guns that can fire the 22 gauge long rifle round, from semi-automatic pistols to revolvers to over-under shotgun rifles. Your chances your chance of sourcing a working firearm is much better when your shelves are stacked with 22 gauge long rifle ammunition. As our dollar decreases in value, things like ammunition are a good investment. Who knows, one day a box of 22 gauge bullets could buy you a tank of gas somewhere. Self-defense and security. The 10-22 certainly isn't my first choice for self-defense. However, the 22 gauge round is unarguably lethal. I don't know the statistics, but I'd bet my wallet that the 22 gauge bullet has claimed more human lives than any other caliber in history. It's a favorite for terrorists in the Middle East who snipe from the cover of buildings and mountains. It doesn't have the knockdown power of a shotgun or high caliber handgun, but you could certainly do a lot worse. I've owned my Ruger 10/22 for over 10 years, and after thousands of rounds through the barrel, it still shoots like the day I bought it. I consider it an indispensable piece of kit for a long-term survival scenario. The fact that it's just plain fun to shoot is icing on the cake. Don't forget, it does accept high-capacity magazines. This means the measly 10/22 just might be in the government's confiscation crosshairs because you know it. Before you know it, I mean. Don't say I never warned you. Remember, it's not if, but when. Absolutely brilliant article here by Creek Stewart, and anyone who just saw this video should really take into consideration the article published by him, because he's trying to give you a convenient means of protecting yourself. Say you don't have the funds. Say you are low budget and you need to just have a gun with lots of ammunition just in case some thugs try to break into your house. There you go. Easily done. You get your rifle and you pump it and you put a bullet in someone's ass. Excuse my language, but that's what I want to see. I don't want to see children getting murdered. I want to see thugs getting murdered. I'd rather see thugs getting murdered than children, dude. Because, I mean, what the heck? I mean, we're going to let evil run rampant while the good people sit by and do nothing? I don't think so. I think it's time to own guns even more than we did before. I think it's time to get back in hyperspeed and just really explode back into this gun culture. And I think, like, pretty soon everybody will have a gun. It'll be normal. Like, we'll be living in the Wild West, but you know what I mean? Like, but at least I think that there will be a little bit of chivalry these days, you know? I think there will be a little bit more respect, because you know that we're all in this fight together. You know that we're all buying guns to all protect ourselves. The American people. The government is not the American people. That's your enemy. They have taken control. We were supposed to pass checks and balances, but instead we fell asleep, and now the corporations have taken over this country. So they're declaring war on you, and it's time for you to get informed.